is Wendy with Next Level Board Games, and we were lucky enough to get an early Christmas present, and we're going to unbox Trek 12, which is a game designed by Bruno Cathala, Corentin Lebrat, with artwork by Jonathan Acomte and Olivier de Rotio. I'm really sorry if I mispronounced your names. I did the best I could. I don't know how to pronounce all of those, so please forgive me. And this game is also published by Pandasaurus Games. So this is a roll and write game, and we're going to see what's inside the box. So first, let me get rid of the plastic. I'm kind of excited for this game because there's like 3 different modes to this game, and there's also several ways you can go about getting points. So I'm kind of excited to learn how to play this game. So, small little box if you notice. It's got a small little footprint, and yet, like I mentioned, there's 3 different modes. There's a Express Ascent, Expedition, and Solo mode. So, oh, and actually Trek mode. I'm sorry, not Express Ascent. Anyway, Trek mode, Expedition mode, Free Solo mode. So each of these has different ways you can play and different ways you can gain points. And even with 3, let's see, Trek mode. Okay, so this one is just the Trek mode rulebook. Then there's Expedition. So as you can see, each of these are not very big and not tons of writing. So there's not a ton of rules for each one. And then there is also Solo mode, which is even smaller, right? So not a ton of rules, but each version of the game is slightly different and will bring different rules to the game. I think these are for the Expedition manual. I think these are different hikers. Oh, assist cards. Okay, so these are assist cards. So, and I think this is like the first Explorer card. I remember seeing it in the video. Anyway, so these are some assist cards, and I believe this is obviously used in the Expedition manual, the Expedition mode. Let's see here. So these are small little cards. Okay, and I think these are different goals that you're trying to get. Special points? I'm not exactly sure, but I'm going to guess it's specific goals and things that can help you get certain goals. So that's those. And then there's the 2 main dice for this game. Oops. Let's see here. Okay. Get rid of that. And these are pretty oversized wooden dice. So they're wooden, not plastic, different. And then there are 3 different Ascent booklets. You'll notice there's quite a few cards in each of these. I'm not sure how many it is, but it's quite a few. So they're a little bit different ascents that you can take up the mountain. And one of the things that I saw is that when you're first starting, you should start with this one here. And I think it's a little bit simpler. If you'll notice, there's 2 types of circles. So the circles that have the solid line, I believe those are the ones that you have a limit of 6 that you can put in them, and the rest are 12. So in the Expedition mode, when you play that way, you're going to use one from each of these Ascent card booklets, right? So you're going to go ascend each one of these mountains, and then in the Trek mode, you are going to pick just one, and then you're going to fill up your Ascent card, and then once everybody has filled it up, which is going to happen at the same time because you're all using a number at the same time, whoever has done it the most successfully will be declared the winner. Since this is a roll and write game, basically you roll the dice, and whatever your answer is, you have your 6 and your 1, which means that on your card, when you go to put this in here, the cool thing about this game is there's lots of ways you can use these numbers. So with a 6 and a 1, I could use either the 6, the highest number, or the 1, the lowest number. That's these here. I could add them together and use a 7 to put in one of my circles. I could subtract them and use a 5 to put in one of my circles. Or I could multiply them, which in this case is still just a 6, but if this were a 2, then that would become 12. So that's where the multiplication would add up. But you can only use each one of those ones 4 times. So each time you use one of those, so say I used, let's say I used 5, and that would be clearly the subtraction. Then I would have to mark a little X in that spot, and then I would know I only had 3 more opportunities to use that. So that's where you have to be really strategic about how you use the numbers, but there's lots of flexibility about how you use the numbers. So when you first start, you can put a number in any square, and then after that you have to put, or circle, excuse me, square dice. You have to put a number in a circle that surrounds that. So ideally you're trying to create, in essence, sets of numbers that are increasing in value. They're only one different, and you draw a line between them. Or you can use the same number. So if I have a bunch of 6s together, I'm going to gain special points for that because they match, or any other number really. Or if I have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, I'm going to get bonuses for that as well. So that's kind of the gist of how that works on the different boards. And then So then there's also some secret missions, and I'm not going to open these because I don't want to spoil anything, but I think there's 6 of these. Yeah, so there's 3 really thick expedition ones and then 3 thin ones. Challenge envelopes. Here we go. Okay, so it says, challenge envelopes contain new surprises for the expedition and future ones. At the end of each ascent, check if anyone has completed a challenge on an unopened envelope. Oh, so cool. Okay. If someone has, they get to open that envelope. So that's what these symbols are on the front. Okay. So if somebody manages to meet any of these, so these right here mean that you have 2 numbers that are the same exact number right next to each other, and this symbol means the same thing because there's the shading. So if you look back over here on the card, up here means you have a bunch of numbers that are strings of numbers together, like 5, 6, 7, 8, all next to each other, combined with a line. And then this one here means you've shaded the backgrounds because you have sets of numbers that are the same number. So that's what this shading means. So if somebody had this is going to be really hard. It looks like it would be really hard to get. If somebody has all these numbers that are the exact same number in this flower shape, they get to open this up and get something inside. This one is going to be easier, obviously, 2 numbers together, but they're both 11s. I suspect they literally mean 11s, where this one could be any number, right? And it's because there's 7 of them. So then this is going to be like the other set where you have, in this format, you have, like I said, 10, 9, 8, 7. And that's how the lines go, right? Yeah. Oh, no, I'm sorry. 10, 9, 8, 7, that direction. So that would mean you get to open this and you get something special. Here's another one. It's 5 of the same number in this shape, and so on. So that's how you get to open these things. So that's really cool. And in this version of it, when you play the expedition mode, you actually you go up the mountain 3 times. So you do 3 treks. Yeah, so these are, unfortunately, I don't want to give anything away, so I don't want to open these. But these are pretty thick. If you notice, 3 of these are very thick. There's a lot of stuff that's in here that's going to be introduced, and I think some of them you actually stack with future treks. So there maybe there's cards that we add to this. We just don't know. There's also, if I didn't mention it before, but it's try to see the box. There's also artwork in the bottom of the box and a little note from the alpinist. So that's kind of neat. A lot of design work that went into this. You can tell even just the front of the box. This is small, but there's a lot going on in this picture. And even just the little, little tracking papers. There's a lot of creativity that went into this. Very cool. So I'm excited to actually play this game. So that's everything that is in Trek 12. We've got these really cool ascent cards. We have some nice wooden dice, some assist cards, and I suspect there may be more of these later. The 3 different manuals. It's nice that they created 3 small manuals for each mode of play, whether you're playing the expedition, the trek, or the solo mode. And then last but not least, certainly, are these 6 envelopes that have secrets inside, and we'll figure out as we play and we are able to meet some of these criteria, we'll get to find out what's inside and add more things to our game. So between the 3 different play modes and the 5 ways you can use your dice results and also these envelopes, I think there's going to be tons of replayability in this game, and yet in a super small portable box that probably anybody can learn in like 5 minutes, because as you saw, these rule books are just a couple of pages, small little amounts. So I'm excited to play this game, and thanks for watching Next Level Board Games.